when you say something like IRR, break it down in a simple fashion. And this isn't about you being as smart as possible. This is not the goal. The real goal here is for you to be able to explain things simply so that your avatar is with you every step of the way.
Most hosts never achieve the results they hoped for. They're falling short on listenership and monetization, meaning their message isn't being heard and their show ends up costing them money. This podcast was created to help you grow your listenership and make money while you're at it. Get ready to take notes. Here's your host, Adam Adams.
Have you ever heard that the smartest people are the ones that can explain things more simply? Well, I believe that that's true, and I want you to get yourself smarter and smarter and smarter through the time on your podcast. Whereas I have found that the easiest way for me to get a point across is to try to explain it in really, really simple terms. And I will mention that there's two types of podcasters. There's the type of podcaster that always serves their perfect avatar, how their avatar was the day that they met them. And then there's the other type that doesn't always serve their avatar because the reason that they fail, the reason that they're not able to do it is because they continue to think, okay, my avatar is, let's just say Sarah. Sarah's my avatar. And then in episode 1, I already taught Sarah this one thing. And so she knows it. And so episode 2, I already taught that person that thing to her. So she already knows that. And on the 3rd and 4th and 5th day, at the end of the day, this person, this podcaster that's failing continues to think that Sarah has been on this journey for 7 years with them or 100 episodes or whatever. You fill in the blank of how long you've been having your podcast. Maybe you're 10 episodes in, maybe you're 700 episodes in. It doesn't matter. But imagine your avatar, name them. I'm just going to pretend for now on this episode that it's Sarah. Sarah is my perfect avatar. And I want Sarah to have this and this and this. And I've already done 700 episodes. So Sarah is probably pretty smart now, and so I've got to teach her something new. I've got to go above her and beyond. I need to just start using acronyms that she never would have understood in the beginning, but I got to say it now because it's faster, or I got to say it now because it makes me sound smarter. No, I'm sorry. The smartest people are the ones who can explain things simply. So the reason for this podcast episode is because I had a coaching call last week. And as we were talking to my client, he and I were talking about what does he need to do in order to be able to start monetizing. So I listened to a couple of episodes, and all of my clients, they fill out a 4-page avatar questionnaire. So I've got the avatar questionnaire in front of me, and he's telling me that he's serving his avatar. And I'm looking at it being like, bro, what is happening? Like, why did you have an episode about this? And he goes, oh, I was really interested in that. Okay, why did you have an episode about this other thing? Ooh, that was a really great episode. That was fun. I was so glad that I did this. And I said, so what's the point of you having your podcast again? Is the reason that you have your show because you want to learn yourself? He says, no, it's not because of that. Okay, man, what are you looking for? What do you want? He's like, I want my avatar, inserts the name. I want my avatar to hire me. I want to work with my avatar. I want to serve my avatar. I want to be the best resource for my avatar. I want to get referrals from my listener to other people that are my avatar. And I said, well, then why are you doing these things? And he said again, as if he didn't get the point the first time. Okay. He repeated himself again. It's because I thought it was interesting. And I said, that's not serving your avatar. And he goes, no, it is. And he kind of like became argumentative. He kind of became, what's the word for that? When defensive. Yeah. He kind of became a little bit defensive. And he was like, no, my avatar's just like me. They want to know this. And so I had to take a deep breath. And I said, okay, but your avatar is this person at this point in their life. And when you have this type of content, it's confusing to them. And this is the reason why this client, he had he's brand new to working with us. And I'm trying to support him and help him so that he can grow. And he was just having a hard time understanding that his listener, because he has had his podcast for a long time. And then he decided to switch over to us because his friend got a lot of results by working with us. And so he was argumentative, he was defensive, and he had a reason for everything. And finally, let me just fast forward. Finally, by the end of the conversation, he goes, you're right. I have been talking above my avatar. I have been assuming that my avatar has been with me for all of these episodes. Now, he had about 700 episodes. That I think that's why I keep saying that number, but he had about 700 episodes. And he was like, you're right. I've been getting bored with the podcast. I don't know what to do. So here's what I shared. I let him know, hey, the smartest people out there are the ones who know how to explain things simply. So over here, you're talking about IRR. So IRR, for those of you who don't know, it's basically for investing. It gives you some sort of cash on cash return. Now, IRR gets more complicated than that because you can only figure it out by using an algorithm. You can only figure it out by using like Excel or a really powerful calculator. But by plugging things into Excel, it calculates things and it determines an IRR. But an IRR isn't something that we can figure out on our own. It's called internal rate of return. So this person obviously has investing podcast and he's looking at this and he's talking about IRR and he's talking about a lot of other things. And I said, next time you say IRR, think about your avatar the way they were when you first met them, because you're on episode 700. And can I tell you something that's going to make you cry? He says, yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you really, really sad. And I know that because it made me depressed when I thought of it. And now you, the listener, you're going to be a little sad too. I told him that on episode 701, you're going to have somebody who that's the first episode they ever listened to. And he goes, well, yeah. Okay, bro, if you already know that somebody's listening for the very first time, then why do you keep acting like everybody knows everything that you ever talked about? When you say something like IRR, break it down in a simple fashion. And this isn't about you being as smart as possible. This is not the goal. The real goal here is for you to be able to explain things simply so that your avatar is with you every step of the way. Now, this episode was kind of short. The next episode's going to be an interview. Since this one was so short, I think you should check out that interview. Don't go away. I'll see you in the next episode. Oh, hey, because 3 of my clients came to me recently looking to find a way to have their podcast make them money instead of cost them money. We put together a resource for some of our clients, and I want to give it to you as well. It's something that did actually seem to help because one of them is now making $2,600 a month. Another one's $4,500 a month. And the third is making between $5,000 and $10,000 each month. And so it's been a resource that's been incredibly valuable to them. It's our sponsor sheet template. It's a template of a sponsor sheet, and it gives you something that you can hand to potential sponsors and hopefully also be making $2,600, $4,500, or between $5,000 and $10,000 regularly each month with your podcast. So this has been a contributing factor to helping all 3 of those clients turn their podcast into an additional income stream for them. And the way that you can find it is just going to our website, growyourshow.com, but put in /templates, growyourshow.com /templates. And then you can actually download that template and others that could be valuable to your podcasting experience. I'll see you on the next episode.